Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Regina Servent of Venturini Motorsports. Of course, was announced a few weeks ago that she will be driving in select races for the team. That's, of course, those races also have not been announced just yet. They're still trying to figure out all the schedules. So, Regina, how are you?
Hi, Casey. I'm glad to be talking with you. Glad to talk again, and very excited to talk a little bit about what we are doing this year.
Okay, so let's kind of talk about this for a second. How did this all get put together?
Well, it all started last year. I did the ref combine. I was invited to do the Toyota combine. There was a sponsor that wanted me to help me to get to the Arkham and series, and we analyzed like both situations, and we really like everything that Toyota was offering, such as like all the workout stuff, like sim work, etc. I thought it could help me a lot to develop my driving skills and to perform better at the track. So we started making a plan. This year I'll be racing not only with Venturini in the Arkham series, but also with Leaf Off Racing in late models in the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series, and I'm still gonna be racing NASCAR Mexico. So we have a busy year. I think that's the most important thing. Just sit time to get those laps under my belt and that experience, and I think we will do very good.
Yeah. So you kind of mentioned it. It's kind of this. It's a similar plan to what Isabella Robusto is kind of on, because I know she's kind of doing similar things with that. But yeah, it's the path that a lot of the Venturini drivers are on, and a lot of what Toyota has really kind of done with all that, because all different disciplines, whether it's short track racing, oval racing or something like that. What is it like to be just running all these different things?
I'm very excited. I feel like it makes me a more like a complete driver. I think that just being in different series will help me to adapt to different circumstances. Different in the late models, we race short tracks. In Mexico, we race ovals and road course. I'll be racing in the ARCA car, different type of tracks. So I think that just trying a little bit of everything will help me just to jump into any car and be able to figure it out faster. So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. You also I know I asked you this before, but do you kind of know what tracks that you're doing, or when are we going to see you on track in the Venturini Motorsports car?
Well, we are starting during summer. We don't know yet which races are we doing, because we are moving it around with the different drivers. We are probably doing the Kansas test in May. That's something that I'm really hoping to. Other than that, I don't know. I wanted I'm working with a sponsor here for all in the late model program. um, they are starting their business in Nashville, Tennessee. So I wanted to do Nashville, but it didn't work out. So I think we will start probably until June, probably Berlin, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Also, how many races do you plan on doing you mentioned that you're also going to be running for Lee Falk. Obviously, the track record with that program is tons and tons of drivers that are in NASCAR right now have gone through and ran for him. What's that going to be like to run for him, and how many races do you plan on doing there?
We're going to be trying to do at least like 10 races, 10
Okay.
weekends. We are really like just going weekend per weekend. Like this weekend, we are supposed to race at the track, but it's like 70%, 80% chance it will rain out. So then we will have to reschedule that weekend. So we don't want to say like an exact number of races until we know exactly like how the weather is going to help us and how it will work out with the NASCAR Mexico schedule and the ARCA schedule.
Right. So, let's talk about NASCAR Mexico for a second. I know that you're very familiar with that series. What is that like to run there? What kind of cars are they like down there for many people that may not be too familiar with that series, and just how exciting is it to run there?
It's really so NASCAR Mexico has like different series, just like here. I started racing when I was 14 in the truck series in NASCAR Mexico. They are V6. Now I'm racing in the next series, that is the Challenge series. They are V8 engines with it's basically very, very, very similar to a late model, but it's like between a late model and an ARCA car. So is between those. And the tracks, of course, in the late model we only race like very short tracks. In Mexico we race we don't have as big tracks as such as Talladega or stuff like that, but we race different tracks. Some, like, I think the biggest one is almost a mile, so they're not as short.
Yeah.
We also race 2 or 3 road courses a year, so I think that helped too. We are trying to do my goal at some point is to be racing in some national series of NASCAR, such as the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, or the Cup Series. And I think just getting that experience on the on-road course can help me when I get to those points.
Do you feel like are you nervous to get in one of these stock cars? Because it's like every time it's like going into something for the first time, it's like, oh geez, it's so are you nervous, or are you ready for this?
I think kind of both. No, not nervous. I think I would describe it more like expecting something. I think I'll be racing a very, very, very good cars.
Yeah.
So that makes me more like it is like double duty. I know the cars will be there, so it is all of my preparation that will be shown on track. So I really am like, I know that under same circumstances, because of the combines that I have done, that I can do it. So I just want to go to track and prove not only people, but prove myself that I can do it. And from there, just keep going up and up and up.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, Regina, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and we look forward to seeing you make your ARCA Menard Series debut later this year.
Thank you, Casey, and I hope to talk to you after my debut so we can talk about it. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and just thank you for listening to me, and looking forward to see you at the racetrack.